Good morning, this is NorthRanger, and today we're taking a look at Mountain Blade Warband, the greatest game I think I've ever played. I mean, a few years ago when I first bought this game, I got it in like a giant Paradox bundle. It was one of my first Steam purchases, and I played it for probably a month straight. Played nothing else, and that was before even discovering mods for it. So there are a ton of mods for Mountain Blade Warband. It's very easy to mod. There's a lot of tutorials out there. There's a lot of pre-built tools. Even if you just want to do tiny little editing, you can do that as well, all on your own without having to make a full mod. But today we're playing with the Diplomacy mod installed. Diplomacy adds a whole lot of things to the game that arguably should have been in the base game, and hopefully will be incorporated into the upcoming Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, which I don't think there's a release date set yet. But, get right into it. We're going to start a new game. Alright, so, yeah, welcome to Adventure, Diplomacy for Mountain Blade Warband. Creating your character gives you a brief overview of medieval society, blah blah blah. It might not be a good idea to play a female character or somebody who's not of noble birth. It gives you a harder start. We're going to be going with a commoner anyway. Yeah, I've played this game a lot. I don't really need the head start that you get from being born as a nobleman, but... Alright, so we're going to go with Father as a... Sometimes I do traveling merchant or warrior. The merchant system in this, you can make a little bit of money, but it takes a lot of money to get started in it, so you have to kind of do other things before you can start actually trading in any profitable amounts. So I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to start off as son of a hunter. I'm going to say we came from kind of a poorer background. We're going to be a street urchin. Yeah, probably a game poacher. Some of these other ones have unique benefits. I mean, if you start off as a university student, I'm pretty sure you always start with a skill book, which is really handy to have. Usually they just give you a bonus to one skill, but there's some that if you start reading them throughout the game, I'll hopefully be able to show you books later, but as you read them, it will work towards a skill increase for you. It won't just be instant. So that's a neat system, but we're going to go game poacher, I think. Well, I think my goal with this game is probably going to be start my own sort of bandit kingdom. So I'm not going to be a good guy probably to any of the noblemen. We're going to go maybe being forced out of your home. These all do give you unique benefits. There's other mods that will tell you exactly what they'll do for you. Like the Flores mod is one where you actually select these options out of a menu and you can see what changes they make to your character directly. Diplomacy doesn't have that. Diplomacy is a very basic level mod that adds a lot of functionality to the feudal system in the game, but it doesn't add a whole lot of like graphical or overarching changes like that in the rest of the game. So we're going to say being forced out of your home. Alright. And the game saving policy be, yep, realistic. Yep. Alright, so you can distribute your attributes here. So we went with, you know, son of a hunter and poacher and whatnot. We're going to increase agility slightly because that already affected our starting stats anyway. So we'll increase agility. Intelligence will give you skill points. You can see in the top right corner here what each one will do for you. So agility is definitely a good one to have. Strength is also important, but 9 is an okay spot to start for that. Intelligence I should really start higher, so we'll put that up by 2 to 8, and Charisma go up to 7. Because it will help out, especially for prisoner management, which is a really handy thing to have because, yeah, increases the amount of prisoners you can keep by 5. So when you defeat an enemy party, you can take some of them prisoner, and that's going to allow you to do that. It's a very good thing to have. You can trade them in for bounties, you can switch them to your side, you can do a lot of things with that. So we're going to take at least 1 point of prisoner management for now, but we'll see. Weapon Master, as a rule, if you're going to be a fighter, keep Weapon Master as high as you can. Shield, I don't think I'm going to use a shield right now. Athletics, yes. So we'll increase riding slightly. I'm not going to bother with horse archery because... maybe I will, but I'm going to leave it for now because I'm not going to shoot from my horse, I don't think. I'm going to mostly use my horse for maneuvering, getting my troops into positions, and then I'll probably dismount for combat with this character, I think. Looting will increase. Trainer's good to have. We'll stick one in there. Now, tracking, we automatically get 2 because of what we chose earlier during character creation, so that is great. Pathfinding increases your speed on the map, which is really handy to have. We'll dump what we have left into that. Alright, so archery, we're starting off with 83 because we took those hunter backgrounds already. One-handed weapons, we will increase up. I'll probably go with some kind of sword and a bow for this character. So yeah, we're just going to call ourselves Tavern. It's one of my go-to names for a lot of games. Anything that I want to choose a name that's not, you know, NorthRanger or something, obviously. Very unroleplay like that. We're going to go with Tavern. It won't look too out of place in the game. It's kind of a medieval, but also kind of fantasy name kind of setting. A lot of the names that you see in the game are, you know, something that feasibly most people could have, but I don't think really any of them are actual last names from anybody who's actually alive. Okay, so our character, the character creator is, as you can see, it's pretty in-depth, but there are presets. We're not going to get too worked up about a lot of these sliders. There are some that I will adjust for pretty much every character just because I think that the normal characters look a little bit derpy, a little bit fucked up, and I like to make them look a bit more serious for my characters. So, skin is basically just going to affect your skin color, and it's a face preset as well. So there's not a whole lot to choose from, but let's see. If we're going to be kind of a commoner, well, there's that guy. Looks like a very depressed commoner. I mean, I guess that's kind of fitting. This guy just kind of looks like a cannibal or something. Like, Jesus Christ, he looks creepy as fuck. Huh. Alright. Well, if we go with this guy, we can also change his hair color. Not that there's anything wrong with being ginger, but I'm just going to give him black hair. Okay, so we're all done there. I'm going to go with a change the face partway through that, but we're going to go with this guy. He looks kind of like a grizzled, I don't want to say thief or criminal, but he looks kind of thuggish, but, you know, kind of an adventurer. He looks a little bit depressed and distraught there, and that's, you know, not outright too evil like some of these other creepy fuckers. Alright, so you hear about Calradia. Calradia is the land that this game takes place in. It's a large country that's got rival kingdoms in it. So anyway, a land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy. Alright, so this is where you're going to pick where you will be starting your character. This is probably the most important thing that you will pick. So a brief overview. Kingdom of Swadia is going to be like your typical European kingdom. Kind of, you know, British, French sort of feel to them. They have, you know, heavily armored knights on horseback, and they have decent archers. Rayvaden, on the other hand, is sort of a Eastern kind of, you know, medieval Russia setup. Yeah, as far as I can tell, they are pretty close to the same thing as Swadia, except they have a lot more throwing weapons and a lot less archery going on. So the Kurgit Khanet, obviously being a Khanet, they're going for Mongol Empire there. And yeah, they are almost entirely horseback warriors. So Sargoth, Kingdom of the Nords, again, pretty self-explanatory there. You know, the Nordic Kingdom, they're Viking-ish people. They aren't really the Vikings of this game, because there are kind of NPC Vikings that you'll see on the world map. But these ones are kind of like Vikings who settled in Normandy, I guess. These are the ones who have set up kingdom in the north area of Calradia. Jokala, Kingdom of the Rodox, is very They don't have a whole lot of cavalry. They're reminiscent of kind of Scotland, I guess. They're like a mountainous region that has a lot of like two-handed weapon infantry. Talking like claymores, really big spears, things like that. And Share is the Serenid Sultanate. Again, Sultanate. Pretty self-explanatory. They live in the desert, and they're... yeah. So we're going to go, just for the sake of simplicity, and to go with what I'm most familiar with. I almost always go with Kingdom of Swadia. So we're going to do that. So that sums up Swadia for you. Let's go get started. So, starting this game, it throws you right into a little one-on-one fight in the city area. It's an instance battle. There's nobody else around. It's just you, your starting equipment, and a guy who should be coming around this corner anytime now. Oh, he also has a bow. Alright, we're going to finish him off here. There we go. So we start off with an axe and a bow here, which is pretty decent to start with. Merchant of Praven. Alright, so this merchant's going to take you into the first kind of quest that you can get in this game. You talk to him, and he has a proposition for you. Basically tells you he has a friend. Oh no, last week his brother. So his brother was abducted by bandits. The first quest he's going to give you is to track down some bandits. Yeah, I'll give you a bit of experience with the blade. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to the lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. Yeah, I am interested. This is a good quest to do. You know, it familiarizes you with the game if you're new to it, and also it pays pretty well. I mean, not just in the rewards that you get from this guy, but also in the loot that you're going to get from these bandits. Okay, so this is the world map. You can see Praven here, and this is the rest of it. You know, so this is Kingdom of Nords, and these ones are the Vagiers, the kind of Russians over there to the east of the Nords, which makes sense. And then south of them we've got the Khanate, and then out here in the desert we got the Serenids. Now these are the Rhodoks down here in their mountainy area. They're you know, bunch of Highlanders. They're yeah, they're troops, not the most mobile in the world, but they are tough as hell. Usually, Praven ends up going to war with them very early on. So if you go with Swadia, you're probably going to be fighting these guys near the start of the game, because they are right next to you. You have a lot of contested territory right around this area. So from here, the game automatically pauses when you're not moving on the world map, so you're not losing time or anything by taking a look at your surroundings. Now, the first thing that we're supposed to be doing, collect 5 men. So, Merchant of Praven wants you to collect at least 5 men from nearby villages. After you collect these men, find and speak with them. He's at the Tavern in Praven. Alright, so how you collect men in this game. You can hire mercenaries from taverns, but they're going to be pretty expensive and not really a good idea when you're first starting. You don't have a whole lot of money. So we are going to head to Asgad, the first town here. Yeah, tutorials can go away. Okay, so when you show up at a village, you're going to get a summary of the village up here. Gives you a general idea of how it's going. Tells you which nobleman controls this village. When you get more into the feudal system of the game, you'll start getting, you know, your own villages that you need to look after. So we're going to go recruit villagers. 2 recruits volunteer to follow you. Okay, so we'll recruit them for 20 dinars. You can also buy supplies from these villages. Sometimes you get a much better deal than you do from the markets in towns. This one, because we started off as a hunter and everything, we start off with some pretty decent resources. So we've got 2 things of food there that will deplete over time. Your party, all your troops need to eat. Giving them a variety of food is also a good idea. The morale benefits will stack. So if I were to give them, 1 stack of bread, 2 stacks of meat, they would eat the bread and meat at the same time until they were both gotten rid of, and then we would lose the +8 bonus that the bread is giving us. 72, yeah, we need our money for troops right now, so we're not going to bother buying any more bread. What we can do, though, is, since to get to the next village, we're probably going to go down past Praven again. I'm going to stop at Praven, sell off those furs at the market, give us some decent money to start with. So here we go to Marketplace, and it doesn't really matter who you sell things to in this screen, but they do all have their own money pools. So if you go with the goods merchant, he has 565 dinars to trade with. So sell him 1 fur for 347, hit return, there we get our money. Then we can go to the horse merchant and sell a different one, but see, the gold merchant is down to 218 now, so he won't be able to buy one of those from us. So you'll notice that the sell price on this says 324, and sure enough, you try to sell it to him and it'll be 324. He will resell it for 398. Alright, so you're not just trading straight up with people, and it depends on what kind of supply they have, as you can see there. Just by moving this in and out of his inventory, even though I haven't actually sold it to him yet, it affects the price of the other items in his inventory. So, if they have an overabundance of furs, then their furs are going to be cheaper. It's a pretty decent system that way. Things like this, like ale, he has 78. Let's see, does he have bread? No. Well, yes, he does. Yeah, and you can buy it for 48 from here. So, yeah, that village, it was a little bit more expensive. I believe it was 72 or something to buy a stack of bread. So sometimes you can get a better deal in villages, sometimes you don't. So we'll find somebody that we can, 430 dinars, so he can buy these furs from us. We're not going to worry about buying anything from him right now, just getting some money together. We can leave here. Now, Fadar will be the next village we should hit. So we're going to hit this other village over here. King Harless is there, so you'll notice that big parties like that tend to make all the bandits run away from them when they get too close. So if you're trying to travel and you don't want to get chased by bandit parties, because if they outnumber you, they will chase you down, just travel where you see large groups of nobility. As long as they're not hostile to you as well, then all the bandits will be running away from them. I can only get 1 recruit from here. We should have enough people to do this quest now, but it did not give us a notification saying it was completed. So what I'm going to do is head down to Nimeja as well. So recruit more volunteers. Oh yeah, this will definitely give us enough to complete that quest there. I notice sometimes with this beginning quest, if you go and your troop, if they're all recruits, it seems to actually depend on, instead of being 5 men, it depends on the combat power of your party. So having 5 recruits, oh, we're going to take out some looters. Having 5 recruits is not strong enough to actually qualify for completing that quest. So usually level up some of your guys or just get a shit ton of recruits. Like if you can get 10 to 12 off of the first village you go to, then you should be able to complete the quest no problem. So we're going to take out these looters. What I'm going to do this time, since I have some militia, I'm actually going to start ordering them around places. So, go... no, that's the wrong thing. Everyone hold here. Alright, so archers, F1, F1, you're going to hold here. And then infantry, F1, F1, hold there. So we're going to have a line of infantry and our archers further back. Yeah, we got 1 guy started off with a crossbow. The other ones are militias with melee weapons. So I'm going to hang out back here. Start launching some arrows as well. Ooh. So especially against these looters and other unarmored people in the game, archery is pretty good. I mean, starting off your character, especially if you're new to the game, you're not going to be that good at melee combat yet. it's probably a good idea to have either a crossbow of some kind or just a regular bow like this. Oh, you can hit your own troops as well. Oh, crap. Alright, yeah. Well, that was bad. That's going to cost me some morale of my troops, but... And obviously it cost me a troop because I hit him right in the head and killed him instantly. There we go. So that sound there was me leveling up, so I'll be able to increase my own stats after the battle here. Out of arrows, you can't actually go around and pick up arrows that have missed. See, like I can just go very carefully target it. Kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, barbed arrows there, so I can gather up an arrow. That one was one of the ones on the ground there, so now I have arrows back. You can pick up arrows that are being shot at you and miss. So I mean, the enemy has archers and they're just spraying down a bunch of arrows and they're all over the ground. You run out, yeah, you can just grab them up one by one and start firing them back. It's pretty tedious and time consuming, but it is possible. We lost 2 killed, 2 wounded, but we wounded 4 of them. So some of our guys have blunt weapons, and when you kill somebody and the last hit is a blunt weapon, they're going to get wounded instead of killed. And that's when you can start taking them prisoners. So we got captured enemies here. We're going to take all 4 of these guys. Looters, you can't ransom for very much, but it's better than nothing. So item condition modifiers, you can see this one is a chipped falchion. This is rusty, a heavy hatchet, chipped butchering knife, hatchet, regular hatchet, regular clubs, regular nomad armor. You can kind of tell just by looking at it how it affects some of the item stats. So a chipped falchion's not as good as, you know, a regular or an even better one, but it is a one-handed weapon, which is kind of one of the skills that we took off the start. It doesn't do much less damage than our axe. The only thing is its reach is lower, obviously, and axes have a bonus against shields, so they're kind of nice to have when you're in battles against more established enemies. You know, things that aren't looters running around without shields anyway. So we're going to take that. I'm going to keep my axe as well, though. Alright, so we got more soldiers that we can upgrade. Let's go here. 5 of them. Oh, everybody's up to militia now. So myself, you don't level yourself up from this screen. You level yourself up from the character screen. And it takes you back to the same screen that you had when you were making your character. So what we're going to increase for now is going to be intelligence. This gives us an extra skill point to spend. So power draw is going to increase our bow damage. I'm going to take 1 point of that. Athletics, riding, looting. So what I'm going to do is increase my leadership by 1. It's going to, you know, help with party morale and reduces the wages I have to pay out by 5% per skill. So that's good for us. We'll dump my weapon points into one-handed weapons here. Alright, so we got 9 soldiers, 10 including me, and 4 looters. We'll take them back to Praven. Hopefully we'll be able to ransom off these looters. And then we get started on that quest. So in these taverns, yeah, luckily enough, there's a ransom broker right here. These are the guys you need to talk to if you want to get rid of any prisoners. Oh, he's going to explain that to me right now. There we go. So, I have prisoners to sell. We've got 4 looters, 32 dinars each, which is not bad. I mean, my weekly wages for these soldiers is only 36 total. That's for, 9 militia guys, so we sell off 4 of them, then we're doing pretty decent. Obviously, higher level troops go for more. This is a mercenary. Hired blade. So he's got 6 of them, and they want to join. They want 1,316. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not even going to hire those ones because I would rather keep my money. Okay, so that quest, well, that part of the quest is completed. We've collected 5 men. Now he wants us to grab a small group of robbers that are outside the town. Okay, so we'll do that. So they should show up instantly. Yeah, they're kind of hidden there behind the town name. But Band of Robbers. So I'm going to have everybody hold position up here. We're at the top of a hill, so we're going to be able to shoot down at the enemies. We have, what, 2, 3? Yeah. 3 crossbowmen this time. And 4 melee. So that's not bad at all. Yeah, enemies coming way over there. You can actually hit backspace and get a very simplistic little map here. These little flags are just the spots that you've told your soldiers to stand in. You can also give orders from this menu, or if you get used to it, you can use the number keys and the function keys like F1 through F... I think it goes all the way up to like F8. Okay, so what that guy revealed to us is a special location on our map called Kidnappers hideout. There are other bandit hideouts that you can find like this. Like around Swadia, there are forest bandits that tend to set up little camps all around the outskirts. Around Suno most of the time. Sometimes you'll see them over in these little less dense patches of forest, but they really like this area here and this one. You can either find them just by walking past them. This one's a special one, so it didn't reveal itself, even though I walked right past it. And you can also be given quests by lords. Like if I were to go to the lord of this town and there happened to be a bandit nest that had been, generated nearby, he would give me a quest to get rid of it, but he wouldn't tell me where it is exactly. He'd just say that it's somewhere around his town. So you'd have to find it and then attack it. So we're just going to go attack this one. It's not too tough of a battle. Obviously it's the first quest in the game. It's kind of the tutorial. Alright, so don't have any other options. We'll just attack the hideout. So when you go into these, there's going to be enemies in various spots. Like we can see one just up there by this house. There's going to be some of them up on the hills probably. Oh, there's 2 over here. Alright, so there's more around somewhere. Yeah, we can see there's one off to our right here. Yep. So we'll be up this hill. Here we go. Oh, and then another one spawned just up this hill. Let's see if we can get a lucky shot on him here. That one's good. Walking up inclines in this game is a little bit time consuming, so it's handy to have ranged people if you're going into a battle in this kind of setting. Most of the bandit strongholds that you'll find, anything in Swadia's territory is probably going to be like this exact same little map. It's unfortunate there isn't more variety in that, but there is for the other types of bandits, like if you're attacking sea raiders or something like that, which are the Viking guys that you'll find further to the north. They have a different base layout than these guys do. A little bit less hilly. Alright, so that guy's taken out. And because this is a special one, yeah, it's the NPC, the merchant's brother, will run over to us. And that completes the quest. So, yep. He's going to join our party now. But we get to loot the hideout. So that's probably the best part of this. This is something added by diplomacy. There's NPCs that you can recruit to your party called heroes. We don't have any right now, so this isn't going to do anything. But you can set their equipment preference by talking to them. And then you can let them grab things if they find something in the loot pool that's better than what they have. So we're going to access the items. Ah, there we go. Regular falchion already doing better. So we'll grab that. We'll keep the other one, probably just to sell it when we get back. A lot of the times in these, oh, this one doesn't have any. But sometimes you'll find resources like, you know, food or other trade goods in these hideouts. And those can be highly profitable. If you ever find one that has a bunch, make sure that you grab those. I believe a lot of the time they're down near the bottom of the loot pile. But then after that, you know, start grabbing decent equipment. So we're going to grab a couple of these. And then we'll leave the rest of them. We don't need it. It's not going to be too profitable, but it'll probably help pay for some of this. Alright, so now we have a choice between footmen and skirmishers. So obviously footmen is going to be another melee combat troop, and the skirmisher is going to be more ranged, and it'll just be, you know, a guaranteed crossbow. So I'm going to go with the skirmisher. I like having archers. So first we're going to the marketplace. Goods merchant, no, his money hasn't refreshed yet, although, yeah, stuff isn't worth much anyway, so we might as well just unload it here. Alright, so it'll give us, you know, 108 extra dinars. That's not bad at all. So now we can go to the tavern, and this quest is almost done, I think. So we can talk to the merchant now. Yeah, his brother's safe. We got 200 dinars from that, which is not too shabby. Now he wants to give us another quest. Yeah, so there's bandits inside the walls. Alright, so he offers to let you lead his men. This is going to be another fight inside the city. 100 dinars in it for us, so yeah, we'll do it. Say, yeah, give them the sign. We're ready to do this right now, so... Alright, it's time. Up and at them. Alright. So. This is honestly a pretty easy fight. I mean, he's got some decent soldiers swatting footman. Yeah, like looters are no match for these guys usually. Plus he's got, you know, us. Oh. Well, that was another headshot on a friendly. That was the merchant of Brave in there. Luckily, that's not actually going to affect anything. I mean, as long as we don't get knocked out in this battle, then we'll be fine. And we won't fail the quest or anything. Oh, so that one guy there was a bandit, which is just kind of a more equipped, higher level version of a looter. Alright, so they're all gone. Now we can talk to the merchant. Alright, so we ended up with 200 dinars, and our relationship with Praven has improved. Well, that's all for today. Again, this is NorthRanger, and this was Mount and Blade Warband. I know this video was incredibly long, so thank you very much for watching till the end if you did, and until next time, I'll see you in the field.